Hi everyone, I hope you have watched the previous videos. Let's start the session. Which of the following produces more severe burn? Answer is steam. Okay, steam will produce more severe burns than boiling water because steam has more heat energy than water due to its latent heat of vaporization. A soap bubble is given negative charge, then its radius. So here answer is increases. Okay. If a soap bubble is given a negative charge, then its radius increases. The negative charge will distribute itself evenly over the surface of the bubble, and repulsion between the negative charge will cause it to expand until the tension can bring it to equilibrium. The resistance of a wire is R. It is stretched uniformly so that its length is doubled. The resistance now becomes what? Here you will write the formula R equals to rho L by A, right? Rho is the resistivity, okay? L is length, A is area, okay? Area cross section, okay? So what are the changes he needs in the resistance? He doubled the length, right? So L dash is 2 times the L, okay? So the resistance of wire is proportional to length of the wire. Since the length of the wire is doubled, its resistance also doubles due to doubling of the length. Okay. But resistance is also inversely proportional to the area. Okay. So as area of cross section is halved due to the doubling of length. Okay. The resistance is once more doubled due to the half of the area cross section. So here new area is half of the area of the previous one. So new resistance is equals to rho into 2 times the L by A by 2. That is equals to 4 times the rho L by A. That is 4 times R. Okay. So here the answer is C. A galvanometer is connected into a ammeter when we connect it. Since galvanometer is a very sensitive instrument, therefore it can't measure heavy currents. Okay. In order to convert a galvanometer into an ammeter, a very low resistance known as shunt resistance is connected in parallel to the galvanometer. Okay, value of the shunt is so adjusted that most of the current passes through the shunt. Okay, in this way, galvanometer is converted into ammeter and can measure heavy currents without full deflect. Okay, so here the answer is low resistance in parallel. Okay. A galvanometer is converted into a voltmeter when we connect it. Since galvanometer is very sensitive instrument, therefore it cannot measure high potential difference. In order to convert a galvanometer into voltmeter, a very high resistance known as series resistance is connected in series with the galvanometer. Okay, so here the answer is high resistance in series. Okay. The resistance of an ideal voltmeter is the internal resistance of an ideal voltmeter is infinity. Okay, and the internal resistance of and ideal ammeter is 0. Okay, ammeter is connected in series, voltmeter connected in parallel with the electrical appliances. So here the answer is infinity. Okay, I'll write the whole thing here. The internal resistance of an ideal voltmeter is infinity. Okay, is infinity, and the internal resistance of an ideal ammeter is 0. Okay, ammeter is connected in series, voltmeter connected in parallel. Okay, connected in series, voltmeter connected in parallel. Okay, remember these four things. Okay, the resistance of an ideal ammeter, that is 0. I have discussed this before. Okay, two bulbs are fitted in a room in the domestic electric installation. One of the glow brighter than the other. Then what is the reason? The brighter bulb has smaller resistance. Okay, it's option A. Which of the following are two separate circuits in house? That is lighting and power circuit. Okay, what is the fuse of the lighting circuit? That is 5 amps fuse. Okay, 5 to 6 amps. Okay, what is the fuse of power circuit? What is the fuse of power circuit? That is 15 amp fuse. Okay, which of the following devices is run by a lighting circuit in the house? Options are electric bulb, tube light, fans. So all of the above. Okay, which of the following has the highest refractive index? Everyone knows that, right? It is diamond. Okay, direct conversion of solar energy with the use of a photovoltaic cell results in the production of, that is electrical energy. Okay, a solar cell or a photovoltaic cell is an electrical device that converts the energy of light directly into electricity by the photovoltaic effect. Okay, which is a physical and chemical phenomenon. Which of the following devices use two interference fringes by splitting a beam of light? That is interferometer. Okay, the Michelson interferometer is a precision instrument that produces interference fringes by splitting a light beam into two parts and then recombining them after they have traveled different optical paths. The amount of water vapor in a given volume of air is known as, that is absolute humidity. Okay, It is measured in grams of moisture per cubic meter of air. Okay, gram per meter cube. Okay, which of the following instruments is used to measure gas pressure? That is manometer. Okay, a manometer is a scientific instrument used to measure gas pressures. Open manometers are measure gas pressure relating to atmospheric pressure. Okay, a mercury or oil manometer measures gas pressure as the height of a fluid column of mercury or oil that the gas sample supports. Okay, which of the following instrument is used for precise measurement of a very small objects? That is micrometer. Okay, micrometer is a tool used for precise measurement of very small objects. Okay, and it can measure the depth, length, and thickness of whatever object fits between its anvil and spindle. Okay, it is commonly used in mechanical engineering and machining applications. Okay, this one is anvil. Okay, this is spindle. Okay, which among the following has the lowest frequency range? That is L band. Okay, L band refers to the operating frequency range of 1 to 2 gigahertz in the radio spectrum. Okay, it is 1 to 2 gigahertz in the radio spectrum. Okay, the wavelength range of L band is 30 to 15 centimeters. Okay, it is frequency and 30 to 15 centimeters of wavelength range. Okay, the L band is one of the chief operating ranges used by various applications such as radars, global positioning system that is GPS, okay, radio, telecommunications, and aircraft surveillance. Okay, applications, radars, okay, GPS, global positioning system, okay, radio, telecommunications, and aircraft surveillance. Okay, okay. Which among the following is studied under pulmonology? That is lightning. Okay, a person is standing in front of a wall and makes a sound. What should be the normal minimum distance between the person and the wall so that the person hears a echo? So, important question, that is 70 meters. Okay, the minimum distance required for an echo is to be produced is around 16.6 meters. Okay, we consider it around 17 meters. Okay, who invented the wireless telegraph, radio, and wireless message? That is Marconi. Okay, wireless telegraphy came to mean Morse code transmitted by radio waves. Okay, initially called Hertzian waves. Okay, discovered by Heinrich Hertz in 1886. The first practical wireless telegraphy transmitters and receivers were developed by Guglielmo Marconi. Okay, it's around 1895. Okay, Fermi is a unit of which among the following? Fermi is a unit of length. Okay, unit of length used to measure nuclear distance, that is equals to 10 to the power of minus 15 meters. Okay, it is called Fermi. One Fermi equals to 10 to the power of minus 15 meters. Okay, which among the following properties of the matter is studied in rheology? So here the answer is viscosity. Okay, the tire isopycnic is most closely defined by which among the following? So the answer is two liquids with same density. Okay. In isopycnic separation, also called buoyant or equilibrium separation, the rate at which particles move until their density is the same as the surrounding gradient medium. Okay. Isopycnic also known as buoyant or equilibrium separation. Okay. Which among the following is measured by odometer? Known thing, that is distance. Okay. Consider the following: near infrared, mid infrared, far infrared. Which among the following is the correct order of increasing wavelength of above? So here the answer is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Near infrared, mid infrared, and far infrared. Okay. An instrument called theodolite is used in which among the following? The theodolite is a precision optical instrument for measuring angles between designated visible points in the horizontal and vertical plane. Okay, so here the answer is measuring horizontal and vertical angles in a triangular network. Okay, a charge coupled device in the modern digital cameras has replaced which among the following in the traditional cameras? That is photographic film. Okay, a piece of ice was tied with a string to a water bucket's bottom, and the water bucket was filled with water with ice fully submerged in it. What would be the impact on the level of water when the ice melts away completely? So here the answer is the level of water will go down. So what is the reason behind it? Okay, you can see the image A is completely submerged and image B is ice cube is floating. Okay, we'll compare both the things. Okay, there are two dimensions of this experiment. Okay, one is when ice floats in the water, and another is, as mentioned in the question, okay, that is fully submerged. When ice floats in water, the level of water will remain unchanged. Okay, when the ice melts away, because in this situation, ice replaces water, which is equal to its weight. But when the floating ice is taken down in the bottom of the bucket and tied over there, with a string and let melt away. The level of water will come down because now the ice was replacing the water equal to its volume. Okay, and ice has a lower density of water. Okay, ice has a lower density than water. Okay, so the answer of this question is the level of water will go down. Okay, an antenna in a geostationary satellite should have a minimum beam width of which among the following values to cover the entire Earth? So the answer is 17.34 degrees. Okay, the geosynchronous satellite is located around 35,865 kilometers away from the Earth. Okay, the global or Earth coverage antenna should have a beam width of 17.34. Okay, we can remember 17 to the 34, right? Okay, so 17.34 degree to cover the entire. Okay, a factory is served by a 220-volt supply line in a circuit protected by a fuse marked 10 amps. The maximum number of 100-watt lamps in parallel that can be turned on is. So current required by each bulb is here current required by each bulb by each bulb is I equals to A by V. Okay, that is equals to 5 by 11 amps. Okay, and get confused. That is V equals power equals to 100 by 220. Okay, it's cancel. It turned out to be 5 by 11 amps. Okay, if n bulbs are joined in parallel. Okay, if n bulbs are joined in parallel, then n into I equals to here I required. Okay, I fuse. Okay, so n equals to I fuse how much? 5 by, sorry, I fuse 10 amps, right? Hmm, by I required means 5 by 11. That is equals to 110 by 5. That's equals to 22. Okay, so here the answer is option B, 22. Okay, anything which gives out light rays is called, that is object. Okay, who invented the law of refraction of light? That is Snell van Rooyen. Okay, you remember the Snell's law, right? So Snell's law. Okay, so who invented the law of refraction of light? That is Snell's. Okay, you can remember the Snell's law. Okay, the name given to the law. Microscope was invented by the microscope invented by Just Jensen's. Okay, that's option A. Match the following inventors and inventions. Electric bulb. Everyone knows that. Addition. That is 2. Spectroscope. Spectroscopy is Bunsen. That's 1. Okay. Radar. That is Robert Watson. 4. Okay. Last one, electric fan Wheeler. Okay, 2143. That is option A. 143. Okay. Safety lamp is discovered by, that is H. Davy. Okay. Radioactivity is invented by, that is H. Becquerel. Okay. Though it was Henry Becquerel that discovered radioactivity, it was Marie Curie who coined the term. Okay. Term coined by Marie Curie. Okay. Which instrument is used to measure the difference in the force of gravity from one place to another place? That is gravimeter. Okay. Hydroelectric power is it's a renewable natural source. Okay. What will happen to the water when a thin capillary tube is replaced with another insufficient length of tube? Okay. Since in capillary tubes liquid flows against the gravity where the liquid continuously rises in the narrow space, but it is not so in any other tube of insufficient length. So the answer is it will not rise. Okay. Which among the following sentences in the correct region behind the blue color of ocean water? That is water molecule scatters blue light. Okay. The helium atoms that have lost two electrons are called, that is alpha waves. Okay. The helium nucleus without any electrons is called alpha particle. This is one of the three types of ionizing radiation, like alpha, beta, gamma radiation. So there, right? See, so it is one of them. Which of the following devices is used to measure volume changes caused by physical or chemical process? It is dialtometer. Okay, so you can see the dialtometer. Okay, it is a scientific instrument that measures volume changes caused by a physical or chemical process. Okay, a familiar application of dialtometer is the mercury in glass thermometer, okay, in which the change in volume of liquid column is read from a graduated scale. Okay, the inability of a body to change its state of rest or its uniform motion in a straight line is called as inertia. Okay, ohm is a unit of measuring, that is resistance. Equal volumes of all gases contain equal number of molecules under similar condition of temperature and pressure. Which law says this? It's an Avogadro law. Okay. What is the normal temperature of human being on the Kelvin scale? That is 310 degrees. Okay. So 310 kelvins is around 36.85 degrees Celsius, right? Which among the following is known as the first electronic amplification device? The first practical electrical device which could amplify was the triode vacuum tube invented in 1906 by Lady Forrest, okay, which led to the first amplifier around 1912. Okay, so here the answer is triode vacuum tubes. Okay, which among the following temperature scale is based upon absolute zero? That is Kelvin. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.